Hello everyone, and welcome to your second royal reading of today, a Sunday afternoon here at MadWorldTarot. And our theme today is access control, in fact access denied. And we've looked at Harry and Doria and the fact that she seems to be a gatekeeper in his life, and now we're going to look at the day the late Queen died, because there is a very interesting book out by Robert Hardman, and he is a very senior royal reporter, and he has written about the day the Queen died, a very moving account. It's being serialized, some of it, in the Daily Mail. And it really is very moving. The excerpt today made me quite tearful as I was reading it. And he has revisited this old story about Meghan not being welcome in Scotland at Balmoral, and the awkward conversation Charles had with Harry and all of that story. And Meghan is apparently clapping back, according to Neil Sean, in her memoir that she is busy writing, toiling away over the typewriter, and she is going to claim in her book, allegedly, that no, this is far from true. She and the late Queen were besties. She got on better with the Queen than even Sarah Ferguson got on with the Queen, and we know that by all accounts the Queen had a really soft spot for old Fergie. Meghan, no, it was even better. And that train trip on the royal train up to Scotland, I think it was Scotland, it was fabulous. They got on like a house on fire, but not really, according to Neil Sean. You just have to ask Angela Kelly about that, the Queen's dresser. I have the Guardian of the Night tarot on the tarot table for this one. I thought it was appropriate. We dig this tarot deck out and have a look, little 5-card reading. We're going to see what the relationship really was like. There was a rumor a while back that the Queen actually said in public that she thought of Meghan Markle as evil. So a while ago I did read on that comment, and what came up in that reading but the devil himself. So we're going to ask what the relationship was really like and how Meghan thought it was, as opposed to how the Queen saw things. So that's our little reading. And then we're going to ask, as the final card of this little reading, if Meghan makes this claim in her book, how will it be received? What will be the consequences? Because we see that the chickens are coming home to roost at some level. For instance, Living Legends Award, Harry's his less than brilliant military career is now being exposed to scrutiny and causing him some humiliation and some anxious nights. So maybe Meghan might also have some scrutiny and some anxious nights if this happened. We will ask the tarot to tell us, and we will remind you that this is just tarot for fun and entertainment, all my opinion, all speculation, just reading energy, and disclaimer in the box below. We have the Page of Pentacles in reverse, Octopussy in reverse. That's interesting because the Page of Pentacles is about communication, and it's very often for remuneration, that communication. So for instance, a contract or negotiations or things like that. And allegedly she is busy in negotiations to do with publishing her book, and they're not going very well because the publishers want actual chapters, and she doesn't have actual chapters, or she doesn't feel that she should show them actual chapters. She should just get 20 million advance like has been got, and off she goes to the races with the book. So it's negotiations and negotiations that are not going well. That's very interesting. Page of Pentacles is also a student, somebody who's learning the ropes. It's a junior energy. She was on that royal train to learn the ropes with the Queen, to get a crash course in how to be a royal. Catherine didn't get that, and Meghan got it straight away. So she was a student in that relationship, but she didn't behave like one, and she didn't learn her lesson. It's amazing what you can get out of a simple tarot card, is it not? Situation we're dealing with, that was our underlying energy. So situation, 6 of Wands, triumph, ego, showing off, victory lap. Look, it was great. The Queen loved me. It was those nasty men in suits who wouldn't let me there. In her dying moments, she was calling out for me, but they wouldn't let me get to her. It's that kind of BS. Six of Wands is showing off, boasting, ego, run rampant. How about the relationship just objectively? What can the cards tell us about the nature of the relationship? Really, King of Swords. King of Swords is an interesting card because it's not a friendship card. It's not close. It's not family. It's strategic. Chess. That's the word that comes to mind. Playing chess. The Queen was very often, her energy very often came through as Queen of Swords in these readings. For me, King of Swords has elevated it to something even more strategic and more canny. How about that for a word? King of Swords tells me that this was a relationship that was being observed by very powerful but very behind the scenes kind of people, like lawyers, advisors, military people, strategists. Those kinds of people were observing this relationship and were advising. See that moon next to the owl? The old wise owl had seen it all, knew it all, seen every type of personality come past. So this Page of Pentacles in reverse, this person who thought she knew it all, refused to learn, refused to wear a hat when she was told to wear a hat on a windy day. And now we have pictures for posterity sake with bald spots and hair extensions shown and all that kind of unpleasantness. She's seen it all. And the Queen was absolutely in control of this situation, dispassionate. She wasn't upset about it. She wasn't emotionally involved in it all. She was waiting like the owl sits up there in the tree and looks down and eventually comes swooping in for the kill. Such an interesting energy. How did Meghan feel the relationship was? From her, some people would say, rather narcissistic viewpoint. How did she view it? How did she think it was? 8 of Swords in reverse. That's the trap that she hustled her way out of. She fled. She felt absolutely stuck in that situation. She hated it with every fiber of her being. She felt hemmed in, surrounded, cramped, couldn't move, couldn't be herself, couldn't do anything without having to ask permission or consider the consequences or what are the rules and regulations and the right way of doing things. Couldn't bear it, fled. 8 of Swords in reverse, getting yourself out of a trap. She was also very afraid when she was in that situation because it's a card of fear. She was terrified. She realized that she wasn't up to it. Page of Pentacles in reverse. This was not a role that she could play. She couldn't learn the ropes. She would never be able to master the situation. She'd never be able to flourish or to shine in that environment. There were other royals who would always shine more. That would, of course, be Catherine and even Sophie. And people like Princess Anne would, of course, be looking down their noses at her. And she fled. She dug her way out of that trap. And she disappeared as fast as she could to Canada. So what did the Queen really think of her? Secretly, in her heart of hearts. What did she really think? Justice in reverse. Wow. So many things with this card. So many. Justice, let's just get the one, it's not the most important one, but justice is divorce. She thought this would end in divorce. She saw that. The King of Swords looking down. Saw that. Old wise old owl knew how it was going to end. Hasn't ended like that quite yet, but justice. Also, it's about, I have to watch my words here, but justice is legal proceedings, of course. The courts, there were court proceedings that went on while the Queen was still around, that Meghan won, by basically lying in court. She did lie to the court and then had to apologize for her forgetfulness. So the Queen looked at her and thought, here is somebody who is not the most upstanding person. You can read into that what you want to read into that, of course. But the Queen did not have a good opinion of her. She had a very poor opinion of her. Another meaning, apart from legal proceedings, could even be criminal proceedings, those kinds of proceedings, that the Justice card represents. It represents equanimity, balance, and it's in reverse, so unbalanced. She might have seen Meghan as quite unbalanced. And there's an infamous story of Meghan Markle, it's a rumour of course, of Meghan Markle being found wandering the streets of Windsor in a state of undress, in her nightie, I think the story was, and was sort of lamenting and cray-cray, and ambulance or police had to be called and cart her off. It's one of the more famous rumours to do with Meghan, on the grounds of Windsor Castle or in the town itself. I'm not sure where exactly, but that is of course a rumour, urban legend by now. But that might be also what's sitting in that Justice card in reverse. That she was unbalanced, unhinged, somebody who didn't have an even temperament, somebody who was unpredictable, somebody who might do things that were quite dangerous, even tending towards the unlawful. And of course, what did I say with that King of Swords? That probably there was some kind of information gathering with that card about her past, her dealings, her relationships, her associations, all of that stuff was known. King of Swords upright, Justice card in reverse. So good luck with that, Meghan. How's it going to go? Hypothetical question. The book gets published. She writes about they were besties. The Queen loved her like a daughter, and even more than she loved Fergie. How's that going to go? Nah. Five of Pentacles. Not going to fly. Not going to fly at all. And there is the owl again. Has come down to the table. That's Angela Kelly. That's Angela Kelly. Coming out of retirement to say, oh no. That's not how it was. That's not how it was at all. The Five of Pentacles is the outcast card. You're out. You're out in the cold. You are shunned. You are exiled. You are unwelcome. You are shut out. Don't ever darken our doorstep again. And you were broke. She, of course, famously claimed that she had 5 million in the bank when she arrived in the world. Self-made woman. The rest of the married-ins were just useless, pathetic losers, and she was famous and she was rich. Self-made millionaire? No, you weren't. You were in the bones of your you-know-what when you rolled into town and hooked Harry. Use that word advisedly. So Five of Pentacles, not going to fly. She will be exposed. And it will be ugly for her, and it will lead to even more shunning and more being cast out and more being unwelcome and unwanted and more poverty as well for her if she goes down this road and decides to try and play that or write that narrative. It's not going to be believable, and she will be exposed by, I suspect, that messenger from over there. From beyond the grave. That's my reading for you. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again tomorrow.